Hi and welcome to Coda Piano. My name's Mark Deeks and I'm going to be showing you today some very basic beginner hand posture and finger shape and finger exercises to get you started. So, right from the very beginning, when you sit at the piano, regardless of whether you're dealing with a full-size piano or a keyboard, you should always try and find middle C. And that's roughly where your nose should be in line with. So as I sit at the piano, here's middle C, and I want my nose, the center of my face, in line with that note. It's not an exact science. If you're very slightly to one side or the other, don't worry about it. But that gives you a rough idea about where the middle of the keyboard or the piano is. And so that's roughly where you should be sat. Sit the straight line from the piano. Depending on the height of the piano or the keyboard, and depending on the height of you and the height of your chair, your knees should go slightly underneath so that your hands are in this kind of shape. It shouldn't be too far away. You shouldn't be bunched up like this. And the shape of your hands is very important. Your wrist should be roughly in a straight line, a horizontal line with the height of the keys. If your wrist drops too low, that can impair the movement of your fingers. If your wrist's too high, it's difficult to see the keys and it's also quite difficult to move your fingers. So you should have your wrist roughly in line with the keys. Your fingers in a light curl, as if you're holding a ball, like this. Not hooked fingers, and certainly not flat fingers. They're difficult and to be precise with. So a light curl, tipped over onto the keyboard, like that. One of the hardest things about first learning piano is the fact that it's almost unlike any other thing that you use your hands for in your daily life. Often the only thing I can compare it to is people who touch type on computer keyboards without looking, and every finger on their hands has to work independently of each other and with equal importance, with equal strength. If you think about it, virtually everything that you use your hands for on a daily basis involves the hands working as a team, or all the fingers working as a team. You pick things up, or you push a door, or you throw something. The hand and the arm is a full unit. In piano playing, you need every finger to be a separate, independent unit. And that's quite tricky first, because as you'll know, it's impossible to move one finger without the other fingers at least flinching or moving slightly. But that's what we need them to do when we play piano. Back to the hand shape. When you press one note down, you don't want the other fingers to fly in the air like this. You need the other fingers to stay in contact with the keyboard as much as possible. So in order to try and help you build this up, I'm going to try and give you some basic exercises to have a go with. Find the middle C that we talked about earlier. It's the one just to the left of the pair of black notes. You'll see that on the piano, the notes are laid out with pairs of black notes and threes. Pair, three, pair, three, all the way, every different octave. You want your thumb of your right hand on the middle C. And then lie each finger on each note all the way up to the G. So that's a C, a D, an E, an F and a G. And notice when I'm pressing each note, the other fingers aren't flying in the air like that. That's bad technique. You want one finger per key staying put. So all I want you to try and do is play from the bottom note up to the top note and back down. And try and aim for a smooth sound like that, so you're holding on to each note until you play the next one. The speed of this is not important at all. Speed at this stage is the last thing you need to worry about. But what I would encourage you to try and do is try and make sure that every note is exactly the same length. So there's a pulse to it, like you tap your foot to it. So even if your pulse is slow, doesn't matter. And then gradually you get, so it builds speed up. But as long as there's a pulse, you should be able to tap your foot to it. And so on. And you should get, so you can just play it on loop, round and round, looking around the room, looking out the window, wherever you are. You need to get so that your fingers move independently without you seeing them, because of course what's going to be happening most of the time is you're going to be looking in front of you at some music. That's one thing I always encourage my pupils to do, right from the very beginning. As soon as you can play any small exercise such as that, try and do it without looking at it. That really builds up your confidence aside from anything else. In piano playing, your thumb is finger number 1 and your little finger is number 5. That's the same on both hands. Thumb's number 1, little finger's number 5. So in the left hand, the same exercise as that would be starting on your 5th finger. So if you need to pause the video at that point and have a go at that, then I would encourage you to do so. Try and get so you can play those exercises round and round until you're a bit more confident, and so confident that you can look away from them. So have a go at that first exercise in both hands. C up to G and back down. Remember, speed's not important. Gradually see if you can build it up a little bit, making sure that every note's exactly the same length, and see if you can do it without looking, and try and build up your confidence like that. So in the right hand like this, and the left hand like this. On loop, round and round, for say 30 seconds, until you're confident and comfortable doing it without looking. That's your first exercise. I'll see you in a minute with the next set of finger exercises. Good luck.